How you doing, guys? I'm Sean. You're very welcome to this channel. Guys, today's video I'm going to be talking about the hipster time traveler. I'm not too sure if you're familiar with this story, but can I start off by thanking you all so much for your comments and your lovely kind support you've sent me there on the last video I done on that health issue that I'm going through. But basically, thanks very much, guys. Everything onwards and upwards and back into this here. The time traveler, the hipster time traveler. I've sent this photograph here on the Facebook page. Basically asked me what's my thoughts on it. I believe that this is a time traveller captured. Just to give you a backstory here, this here photograph was taken 1940-41 in, up in Canada, South Fork Bridge, the opening up of the bridge again. Now this is a 100% genuine photograph, so that's not in question. Although it does look as if it's photoshopped. It's not as part of the Barlorn Pioneer Museum's collection, so it's 100% genuine, that's not in dispute. The guy we're talking about here is just to the right of centre with the shades on and with the motif on his jersey. That's the guy that people are calling the hipster time traveller, and just wanted you to have a wee look at that. What's your first impressions? Well, I've looked at it and I actually believe in the possibility of time travel. I certainly believe in parallel realities and the paranormal. So I'm open for this here. But I'm also very critical in everything I do, and this is a photograph I was looking at, and I'm judging it solely on what I see. Right away, my first impression I thought was photoshopped. It's not photoshopped. But if you look down to his hands and his camera, people say it's like a DSLR, but when you enlarge it up, it's clearly not. It's one of the old 120s on its side. You can clearly see, the bellows, and also the wee like a bellow rail at the support on the side there for folding up. And just to the right of his finger there, that there is actually one of the old rangefinder viewfinders attached there at the top of the camera or at the front of the lens, exactly where that is. I'm not too sure what sort of camera it is. Looking at the like of, just to give you an example, a comparison, the Kodak Vigilant Junior 620, and I would actually say there's possibly that one or a Voigtlander, maybe even an Agfa. But it's certainly a 120 onto the side. So for me, right away, that's what's ruling it out. People talk about his jumper or his t-shirt. They hadn't got screen print in the end, so you wouldn't have had like motifs and things like that. We have been doing a check and it has coming up that it's Montreal Maroons. And I would back that up as well, because that there in itself, from the research I've done, was a ice hockey team from that era. And basically, if you look at the corner of the letter M, you can see that there's a wee recess there. So in other words, it's like, if you look at the Montreal Maroons symbol, it's got the exact same M on it. In other words, if it had been just a plain square M, it could have been disputed, but it's identical to that. He's just a hip looking guy. But if you look, there's nobody else young around him, so he's probably a college student. And like, no disrespect to anybody else around them, they're all oldies and they're all wearing their hats and things like that. So my conclusion on this photograph, not on time travel by the way, but just on this photograph, is it fake or real? Well, it's a real photograph. Is he a time traveller? No, I don't believe so. And I believe that that camera that he has in his hand is what's giving it away. I can't judge any other things about his hairstyle, his glasses. Yeah, I've had sunglasses in them days too. But to me, the camera in his hand rules it completely out. And so therefore, as far as I'm concerned, in July of 2015, the hipster time traveller photograph is debunked. So there you go, guys. Listen, thanks very much for watching. Please leave your comments down below. What do you think of the photograph? Do you think it's real? It's definitely a real photograph, but do you think a time traveller? Do you think he's a time traveller or just a guy captured in time? So if you haven't already done so, please do subscribe. You can follow me on Twitter and on Facebook. I love having you on these rambles. And just know that I'm sending you love from Ireland. And I'm off now to get into my time machine. I'm going to look for Ansel Adams and maybe Henri Cartier-Bresson and ask them what they really think of digital photography. See you later, guys.